Toyota CEO presenting water engine car that will end the EV industry. According to CEO Akio Toyoda, Toyota is developing a revolutionary internal combustion engine that operates on hydrogen, and he claims it would completely demolish the EV market. The chairman of Toyota Motor Corporation, Akio Toyoda, has never been a big supporter of battery electric cars. When EV sales began to decline globally in October of last year due to macroeconomic uncertainty, Toyota declared that consumers were finally seeing reality with regard to EVs. The auto executive is now ramping up his pessimistic forecasts, declaring boldly that only 3 out of 10 vehicles on the road will be battery-powered. But why is Toyota's CEO presenting water engine cars that will end the EV industry? Hello and welcome to Hypeno, where we bring you the latest news briefings and analysis on EVs to keep you informed. But before we proceed, please kindly like and subscribe to this channel by clicking the bell notification feature below to help YouTube learn of your preferences and to receive notifications each time new videos are uploaded on this channel. Let's get started. Toyoda, who is also the founder Kiichiro Toyoda's grandson, made his prediction earlier this month at a business function. On Tuesday, his comments were posted to the business's media portal. Toyota declared, "The enemy is CO2, and he suggested a multi-pathway approach that is independent of any particular kind of vehicle. He stated that the choice of which course to follow should be made by customers, not regulations or politics. A battery electric vehicle's appeal is limited since, according to the auto executive, almost 1 billion people still live in locations without access to electricity. According to Toyota's estimation, only 30% of the market will be occupied by fully electric automobiles. The remaining portion will be occupied by hybrid or hydrogen-powered vehicles. Hydrogen and oxygen react chemically in a fuel cell stack to produce electricity, which is how hydrogen fuel cell electric cars generate power instead of drawing from a battery. It takes fewer than 5 minutes to refill their hydrogen tanks at a pump, and once you're driving, you can enjoy smooth rides with no exhaust emissions." Learned about Mirai. The Mirai pushes the limits of hydrogen-powered vehicles. It delivers great performance and a remarkable driving range. Safe and clean energy. We surround ourselves with clean, safe hydrogen. It's so prevalent that it accounts for 70% of all matter in the cosmos. This makes it possible to obtain hydrogen locally and, if produced using renewable energy, to produce it carbon-free. Every year, the network of hydrogen refueling stations expands. Refueling is simple, safe, and familiar, just like it is in a regular car. The Society for Hydrogen. Fuel cell for hydrogen power is just getting started with electric cars like the Mirai. Hydrogen is a practical substitute for fossil fuels that not only has the ability to reduce global emissions in commercial and public transportation, but it is also accelerating the transition of civilization to an exclusively hydrogen-based economy. Toyota fuel cell technology has already started to have an impact on both land and sea transportation, from forklifts and heavy-duty trucks to the K-10 Obis and Energy Observer ship. Additionally, it will power a whole community starting next year. At the foot of Mount Fuji, Toyota's prototype city, Oven City, will provide a completely integrated ecosystem run entirely on hydrogen fuel cells. Toyota has developed a revolutionary engine that has the potential to completely change the way we think about cars, making significant advancements in the automotive sector. Unlike any engine previously seen, this one works on water instead of conventional fuels. Toyota's water-powered engine is a serious challenge to the market domination of electric cars, EVs, as it aims to create the most environmentally friendly engine to date. The nuances of Toyota's new engine, its operation, and its possible effects on the car industry will all be covered in this article. Let's investigate the opportunities presented by water-powered engines and delve into their intriguing universe. Water engines' potential. The automotive industry has long harbored dreams of water-powered engines because of their potential huge benefits over conventional engines and electric vehicles. There have been countless attempts in the past to develop practical and dependable water-powered engines, but none of them have been successful on a significant scale. With its new engine, Toyota hopes to change that. It has the resources and capacity to test it in a variety of scenarios. Then one would wonder, Just how does this groundbreaking engine function? Now let's get into the specifics. The water-powered engine of Toyota. Toyota's water-powered engine is an amazing technical achievement that separates hydrogen from oxygen using a procedure known as electrolysis. The new engine breaks down hydrogen and oxygen from water molecules in a manner akin to the Toyota Yaris Group 2's hydrogen combustion engine. When the electrodes are submerged in the water tank, they release significant voltages, which causes this separation. After that, the hydrogen is sent into the engine, where it burns like compressed natural gas does. With a few minor modifications to the fuel injectors, cylinder heads, pistons, and valves to account for hydrogen's extreme flammability, the engine operates largely similarly to CNG-powered engines. What are the eco-friendly engine's long-term advantages, though? Let's investigate more. How do you operate a water engine? The water engine works by splitting the water's H2O molecules into hydrogen and oxygen through an electrolysis process. The engine uses high voltages to separate oxygen from hydrogen by means of electrodes inserted into the water tank. After that, the hydrogen is fed into the engine, where it ignites and powers the car. The hydrogen used in the water engine is contained within the water itself, in contrast to conventional hydrogen combustion engines and fuel cell electric vehicles, FCEVs, which need highly armored and costly tanks to store compressed hydrogen. As a result, the engine is safer to use and requires fewer complicated safety precautions. Let's examine the advantages of water engines for the environment while keeping in mind these basic mechanics. Advantages that are good for the environment. Compared to internal combustion engines in electric vehicles, the water engine is expected to be a more environmentally benign option. It is comparable to electric vehicles, EVs, in that it emits almost no pollution when compared to traditional engines. Water engines, on the other hand, are more convenient because they don't require lengthy charging times or external charging stations. Refueling the engine is a simple and economical procedure as long as diluted water is available. Water engines also lessen the requirement for rare metals like lithium and cobalt, which increase pollution during the extraction process and the amount of oil that is extracted. The engine has the most potential to decrease environmental damage and dependency on fossil fuels. However, how does it compare against FCEVs and hydrogen-powered combustion engines? Let's investigate. Hydrogen combustion engines versus water engines. When it comes to environmental supremacy, water engines surpass both FCEVs and conventional hydrogen combustion engines. Hydrogen storage necessitates stable, high-priced tanks and perfect temperature conditions. Water storage, on the other hand, is straightforward and can be done in any kind of plastic container, which lowers complexity and expense. Consumers must pay more for hydrogen-fueled vehicles since the process of producing and extracting hydrogen gas is expensive. Water engines provide a far more cost-effective option without sacrificing functionality. They are a good alternative for everyday use because they may provide up to 3 times as much energy as gasoline engines. Let's look at the possible long-term environmental benefits while keeping these benefits in mind. Long-term environmental benefits. Long-term environmental benefits from the use of water engines could be substantial. With a decreased need on fossil fuels, these engines can significantly lower carbon emissions. If water engines gain traction, the only industries that would still be dependent on fossil fuels would be heavy machinery and power plants. Furthermore, there would be much less need to harvest rare metals like cobalt and lithium from the soil. Currently, the extraction process is contaminating the nearby soil and water supplies, making certain places uninhabitable. Water engines have obvious environmental benefits, but are they practical for daily use? Let's investigate their usefulness. Can water engines be used every day? In contrast to common perception, water engines are not weaklings. They actually provide performance comparable to that of most gasoline engines. With the added advantages of being easier to use and less expensive to make, water engines employ technologies similar to that of conventional internal combustion engines. Since there are no highly dangerous fuels being stored within the vehicle, they are also far safer. Water engines essentially eliminate the risk of explosions or fires, giving customers peace of mind. They are also a desirable alternative for poor nations without the infrastructure to support alternative engine types because to their affordability and simplicity of production. In areas with scarce resources, water engines could democratize transportation choices. Keeping the positive traits in mind, we need to think about the difficulties and roadblocks that stand in the way of embracing this game-changing engine. Water-powered engines' potential. Although they present a bright future, water engines still face a number of obstacles before they can truly compete with internal combustion engines and electric vehicles. There are a lot of logistical challenges, namely the technology's experimental character and the dependability of working prototypes. Because of the subpar performance and patchy reliability of the current water-powered engines, everyday usage has also been a worry. Furthermore, the potential negative reaction from battery manufacturers, oil conglomerates, and lithium mining firms could be a danger to the widespread adoption of water engines. Historical narratives act as a warning, such as the tragic ending of Stanley Allen Meyer and his water-powered vehicle. The promise of water-powered engines cannot be disregarded despite these challenges. The power of water may hold the key to the future of vehicle technology. A future with reasonably priced fuel cells. The operating costs of hydrogen fuel cell electric automobiles are comparable to those of traditional gasoline or diesel vehicles with respect to fuel and insurance expenditures. The Toyota Mirai is presently eligible for a number of government benefits due to its zero emissions at the exhaust, including exemptions from low emission and congestion zones, company car and road tax rebates, and more. A hydrogen fuel cell electric car could end up saving you money when maintenance expenses and the anticipated future drop in hydrogen fuel prices are taken into account. Unlike electric automobiles, hydrogen-powered vehicles don't require charging. Refueling them with hydrogen gas is as simple and safe as refueling a regular gasoline or diesel vehicle. The same length of time, 3 to 5 minutes for a full tank, is needed for filling up. In Europe, there are currently more than 100 hydrogen fueling stations in operation, and more are expected to start the following year.